Hi everyone, Garry the Catholic rugby fan. In this video, I will introduce to you my number 3 prop forward, the Tighthead, of my All Saints fantasy rugby team, the great clouds of witnesses, St. Thomas Aquinas. Thomas was expected to become a Benedictine abbot, but he chose the Dominican order. When he was at university, his fellow students called him the dumb ox because he was very shy, silent, and very quiet and didn't speak very much. But his teacher, Saint Albert the Great, said to the students, "You call Thomas the dumb ox, but one day through his writings and teachings, you will give out a bellowing that will be heard throughout the world, a prophecy which came true." He wrote the Summa Theologica, his greatest work, explaining the existence of God, the sacraments of the Church, and many more topics that consisted of a 4-volume book. But for me, St. Thomas Aquinas' masterpiece is his Eucharistic hymn in Latin called the Pangi Lingua Gloriosi, written for the feast of Corpus Christi. This mystical hymn is so beautiful, calming, and relaxing for the soul. A slice of heaven. But when Thomas was puzzling over a philosophical or biblical question and couldn't find the answer, he would go into the church by himself, go up to the altar, and he would place his head against the tabernacle, and he would whisper and talk to Jesus and pray that he would get those answers directly from Christ. But Thomas was not only a deep thinker, he understood beauty, the language of the heart. Thomas Aquinas, my number 3 prop forward. And the childhood hero he reminds me of is the great French tighthead, Robert Paparemborde. His nickname was Patou or Papa, but many called him the Bear of the Pyrenees. Patou played in 55 test matches between 1975 and 1983, captaining the Tricolors in 5 tests. But what was remarkable is that he scored 8 test tries, a tight forward, which was very rare in those days, even in today's times. Frank Cotton, the great British lion from England, who played against Patou, said that he was a strong scrummager and difficult to scrum against because of his sloping shoulders. He was called the pear-shaped prop. And there's a lovely story told by the French centre Roland Bertrand. They were playing a test match in Bordeaux, and his wife gave birth to a daughter, and the whole French team named the daughter France. Patou once told Gareth Edwards that if he could move the Welsh pack back just a little, that is attacking play. But Robert Paparemborde, he was an example and an advert for the Basque people. He lived his life symbolizing their motto, inner strength through silence, a little like Thomas Aquinas. But this is something I would like to share with you. When I heard that Robert Paparemborde had passed away at the age of 52, it was a sad day for rugby followers. It was a period when we lost many great legends. The great Gordon Brown, the British Lion from Scotland, our own Robert Cockrell, who played hooker for the Springboks against Patu in 1975, Keith Oxley, the great Springbok flyhalf, and recently the Springbok centre John Gainsford. But being Catholic, I take comfort in knowing that whenever I attend Mass, we are united with all those who have passed on, along with the angels and saints. The celebration of the Eucharist unites heaven and earth. Many who have lost a loved one may experience a closeness to that person after receiving the Eucharist. Being Catholic, death does not have the final say. Even though these souls have departed from our presence, it doesn't mean they have left us or we will forget them. The connection and love that unites us is through the communion of saints. So guys, that's my number 3 prop forward. Robert Paparemborde and St. Thomas Aquinas. Until next time, I won't say goodbye, but I'll see you all in the Eucharist. Blessings from the Catholic rugby fan.